I just discovered cooking food in a Stanley Thermos. So today we're going to do a little Tony Chachere's dirty rice. I've got about a quarter of a pound of hot Owen sausage. Got that ready. I had a rotisserie chicken left over, so I pulled a little bit of rotisserie chicken off because the recipe called for a pound of meat, which I only made half of this recipe to go into the Stanley Thermos. So I'm roughly a half a pound. I did not want the refrigerated rotisserie chicken to be cold, so all I'm doing is just warming it up here just to preserve the heat and cold process in the Stanley Thermos. Make it as efficient as possible. Half of the recipe called for 1 1/4 cups. I did put 1 1/4 cups in. I should have only put 1 cup of water. For reference from now on, 1 cup of water will do what you need to do in a 24-ounce Stanley Thermos. The Tony Chachere's was a little bit clumpy, so I did put it into a measuring cup. I divided the recipe into half, but I did have to break down a bunch of the clumps and clods that were in the recipe full packet and get it all where it was all mixed together very well before I moved any further forward. Now half the recipe. Add that to the Stanley Thermos. I prefer to put the contents in first before adding water. Butter. Gotta have real butter. Real butter. So now I'm gonna add the hot sausage, the Owens hot sausage, and some of the rotisserie chicken just to bring the thermos on up to a little over half full. Now that I've got the contents about half full, I'm going to add the boiling water to bring it on up to about 1 inch from the top lip inside the thermos. It was easier to add a funnel to pour that into to try to keep from making such a mess. I brought my water to a boil. The heat is escaping at this point, so it is important to get the lid on it and get it closed up as soon as possible. You can see steam coming off of everything. Get the lid on it, get it closed up. Preserve the heat inside the thermos. That's what's doing the cooking for you. I needed to add just a little bit more water to it. This is where I should not have done that. You do need to shake the contents up very well to get it all mixed together while it's all hot before anything starts soaking into anything. You've got as much liquid as you're going to have at this point is any other point in this. So shake it well, get it all mixed together while it's all good and hot, and then set it on its side so that the contents get more water surface to soak into. It is. Now, this is 720, so this has been cooking in this thermos for roughly 7 hours. Come in for supper, got into it 7 hours later, and here we go. We'll check the temperature just so we know roughly about where it's at, and it ends up at 151. 7 hours later, 151. It was hot, it was steaming. I recommend this to anybody that's going to go out and ride four-wheelers or ATVs, side-by-sides. You could do this at breakfast, and you've got a hot meal right there with you for lunch. Hours later, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours later, it don't matter. did need to cut down on the water. I messed up by adding that second water batch to it. But this was great. Highly recommended. Try cooking with your Stanley Thermos. You will not be disappointed.